Hi, loves. I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about current events and the energy that is surrounding it and just our opportunity to respond differently. So I understand that a lot of what's been happening in the world over the last couple of years, many years, is triggering. I understand that it can create anger, it can create frustration, it can create just an emotional reaction, right? It can pull out what's inside of us in our hearts. It can capitalize on the wounds that we feel and the emotions that we hold on to, the things that we value, right? If we feel that those things have been compromised, it can create a visceral response for us. And so here's the thing. Everything that is happening, that has been happening, I deeply, deeply feel that it is a way for our attention to be taken away from the light, from creating new, from being the trailblazers, from change. These things that are happening are creating such a heightened response. And what's happening is everybody is gathering. Everybody is collecting, right? It's like the forces are standing in place, ready to fight. And the more that we do that, the more that we focus our attention on these things, right? The more that we just run over to what's happening right now, right? We lose sight of that deep, pure truth connection that we have within us. That connection within us that knows the path forward, that knows that there's something greater beyond this, that knows that our attention is not best spent reacting to the world around us. But if we take the wisdom within us and we forge a path forward and we collect others who want to do the same, that's the energy that creates change. That's the energy that brings more light into the world. It's not fighting against what's happening. When we fight against what's happening, even if it's against it, it's putting more energy towards it, right? What we focus on expands. So what if we responded differently? What if we responded in a way that opened other doors, that opened new doors, that considered new perspectives, that invited others to not get sunk into the darkness, to not get sunk into control? The more that we respond to outside forces, the more, and this is anything, right? This is kids, this is our parents, this is society, government, whatever you want to say. The more that we respond to that, the more that they're actually controlling our experience in life. Instead of us owning, this is the life that I desire, this is the energy that I want to contribute to the world, we lose that when we get sucked into those external moments. This is not the first thing that's going to happen, and it's not the last. But we get to choose if we're going to spend our lives fighting against things things, or if we're going to put our efforts into creating change. I consider myself a healer, right? I help others. I facilitate healing within them. I help them connect back to who they are and to stand in that version of themselves, right? To stand in that truth. That is how my healing happens in the world. The healing that I facilitate. So what would happen if all the healers in the world got lost in these spirals? What would happen if there were no other? What if there was no light? What if it was all reaction and fighting? And what if we all got lost in that? So I want you to think about that when you think like, I just need my time here to respond. I just need my time to emotionally react here. When we do that, we let others know that that's okay, and that is the way. So I'm choosing to hold this space outside of that, to hold space for something else, for a different possibility. Because I refuse to allow anything to take me off my purpose path. I certainly do not believe that my purpose is to fight in the world right now. I don't. And if you believe that yours is, then go on. Follow your truth. If you know that that is viscerally your truth, then you follow that. I will always encourage you to do that. And what I just want to invite in here is just this perspective of, what if I step back for a minute and looked at, is my response to whatever is happening, is that making the impact that I desire? And if it is, great. And if it's not, what can I do differently? How can I show up differently? How can I impact the world in the way that my heart desires? There are forces in the world that want us to lose ourselves. They want us to forget who we are and to run towards whatever distraction they're putting in place right now, because that's all it is a distraction. That's all it is. So my invitation is really to just consider a different perspective, consider really responding intentionally. And not losing yourself. Don't lose yourself every time there's a fire outside of you. The world needs us in our truth. The world needs us connected, remembering who we are, in our power, not lost in the current events. I'm sending you all so much love. So much love. I love you. I love you. I love you.